Hello Internet and welcome to a new tutorial. Today we're going to make foresty kind of sound design that was requested by one of you guys a while ago. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of replicate the same sound design that was requested on both Serum and Pigments, plus I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make gritty and juicy FM leads, just like the ones we'll find in the reference track that was given to me. So the track we're going to work with is Clairvoyance from Archaic, I think it's pronounced like that, and it sounds like this. So basically the sound design that was requested is this juicy kind of sound design, which is really easy and really simple to make. I'm going to show you how. So let's take Serum, and why I thought that the idea of this sound design is pretty awesome, because the sound design itself is easy. It's a pitch bend on a simple saw wave, but what's giving it this juicy part is the filter. So I'm going to leave it on the initial saw, just like so. Like that. I'm going to write a real simple pattern in here, just like so. I'm going to use an F because, as most of my tutorials, they're in F. Just like so. I have a legato note. Now what we're going to do is set the pitch bend in here to 24, or the maximum, and then we're going to go to our envelopes in here, and we're going to write an automation for the pitch bend, which yep, exactly, that's the pitch bend, and we're going to make it go all the way up. This one should be on 0, just like so. And now we have this. Now what we're going to do is we'll take an LFO, we'll set it something like a saw in here, and we're going to make it modulate the level of the oscillator, so we'll get this you know. So, and now it will sound something like this. Let me set it to 1/16th, and now we have this. Good so far. Now we're going to turn on the filter. We're going to use the Moog 12 dB per octave low pass filter. We're going to close it, give it some resonance. And now with the second envelope, we're going to modulate the filter. I'm going to set it to a long attack, something like this. Some release, just a tiny bit of, a little less sustained than the maximum, and now we have this. We're going to make it modulate a bit more, give it more resonance. And now in here I've already set a delay from Serum as an effect generator. It's a 1/8 dotted like the usual, and I'm going to send the Serum in here to the delay, and now we have this. Let's check our reference track again. Basically, it's an octave higher. And that's pretty much it. Actually, this is the main sound design. It has just a little bit of reverb and more delay. If I do so, it'll close enough. And that's that's actually that's pretty much it. The sound design itself is really psychedelic, yet it's really, really easy to make, and like it's really simple. And I'm going to show you a little trick in Pigments to get it juicier. So let's initialize the patch of this, like this. Now I'm going to set the oscillator to saw, like so. But in here, well, first of all, let's take the pattern, the same one. Now, I don't know if you use Ableton Live or not, but because I've copied the same pattern, so the same automation of the pitch was copied with it. Just like so. So now all what I have to do is just go to my keyboard in here, set the pitch bend range up to 24, basically 2 octaves. And now we have the same result. So again, I'm going to modulate the volume of the oscillator with an LFO, just like what I've done with Serum, like so. I'm going to set the LFO to unipolar. I'm going to set it in here to triangle. Play with the symmetry to get a perfect saw. Sync it to 1/16th, and now we have this. Exactly the same thing, but what's going to change is the filter. I'm going to use the Matrix 12 filter. I'm going to set it to 12 dB, just like what we've done with the Serum, to 12 dB per octave filter. Crank that resonance, and I'm going to modulate the cutoff with the second envelope, exactly like what we've done with Serum, and now we have this. Let me just give it 1 octave higher. See, the juiciness of the filter is really awesome. We can maybe give it just a tiny bit of reverb with no pre-delay. That's the main sound design, and as I've said, it's really easy, and in my opinion, the juiciness of the sound design really depends on the filter, as I've just showed you, because basically we're doing exactly the same thing with both VSTs, but the filter changes, and so does the sound. So this or this. Oh, I'm not really modulating exactly the same way, the filter, but you know, you got the idea. Now, as you can hear in the reference track, we have FM leads, like so. And as you can hear, these FM leads are extremely juicy, and I really love them. And so I wanted to show you how to make juicy FM leads. We're not going to make exactly the same ones, because you know that we're not going to copy Archaic or Archaic. I'm just going to show you some tips and tricks in both Serum and Pigments to get something kind of similar, juicy and gritty. So let's duplicate the Serum that we have in here. We're going to call it FM. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just initialize the patch. We have this. I'll take off the delay that I've set in here. I'll take off the modulation, or you know what, I'll just delete the whole pattern and I'll draw another one. So what we're going to do, we're going to, first of all, to write a simple pattern, something like so, something like that. Really simple pattern. And now we're going to get to the sound design and the trick that I want to show you. So we're going to modulate the frequency of the first oscillator, but first of all, I'm going to choose the basic mini wavetable. It's supposed to be taken out of a mini Moog, and I really love the character of this synth, and so we're going to take its saw wave. But the saw wave, we're going to modulate it with a wavetable that I really love, and I think it's a bit underrated. Maybe that's just me. I think so. It's the SSQ. The sound that we will get will be something like this. What we're going to do is we're going to choose something midway in the wavetable, like these kind of spikes part of the wavetable, and now we have this. We need to frequency modulate the first oscillator just to the point before it'll start giving us a lot of white noise, unnecessary white noise. See, all of this, we don't need it. This is what we're looking for. Now we're going to take the oscillators 1 octave down. Now we have this. We're going to set the phase to the start of the wavetable, no randomness. Same for the first oscillator. Now we have this. Juicy and gritty, And now the character of the sound will be completed with the right filter. And for this, I'm going to use the high 12 dB per octave filter. Crank a bit of resonance, give it some drive, and now we have this. And now, let's record a really simple automation on the cutoff, just like so. Give it a little bit of delay, and now we have this. We can even take them another octave down, just like so. That's too much. That's pretty cool. I actually like this one. You can leave them on, like the idea is to get these juiciness and grittiness is to play with the octaves between the carrier and the modulator. So, and that's basically what we're doing in here. And if we test it, if we try it with a kick and bass, we'll have this. I'm just testing different settings so you'll get an idea of what will happen if we play with the octaves. And that's the first tip that I've wanted to show you in Serum. Now let's go to pigments. Again, I'm going to duplicate instead of pigments that we have in here. I'm going to take again this same pattern that has the normally it should it didn't copy it with the automation, this one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reset the preset in here, but for this in pigments, since we don't have the ability of, just like in Serum, having two wavetables modulating each other's, because, in the modulator part in here, we can only choose one of these 5 waves or noises. What we're going to do is we'll go to the synthesizer category in here in the wavetables, and we're going to choose the, let me find it first. We're going to choose the microbrute metallizer, which looks like this. Something like so. And we're going to modulate it for now with the sine wave FM. And now listen, we'll have something like this. Let me take off the delay in here. And now we'll move the position of the wavetable to something, you know, in the middle. Somewhere in here where we start getting some spikes, and we're going to take the modulator 1 octave down. And now we have this. You can play with other waves, but I think with the sine wave it sounds the best. So it's kind of cool too. No, not the square. I'm going to use the sine wave, and I'm going to set the phase mode to self. See, the wavetable position in here has this juiciness. I really like it, and it's really gritty. Maybe we can take it 1 octave down too. I kind of love it like 1 octave apart from the modulator. And now what we're going to do is choose the multi-mode filters, 24 dB per octave. Again, give it some resonance. And now I'm going to use exactly the same automation that we just wrote in here for the filter to make for the serums filter to make it modulate the pigments filter. So what I'll do is I'll take my cutoff in here. So we have this automation lane, and I'm going to paste the same automation. Now we have this. You can even try getting the modulator another octave down. I'm just trying again other modulators just to give you an idea of how will it sound if we tried something else, but it's completely up to you to choose whatever you like. In this case, I like the triangle more, I think. Let's keep it on the sine wave, and now we'll just add a tiny bit of distortion. Let me get back to the triangle. I kind of prefer it when it's without distortion and on sine wave. I was again just trying some different options to give you an idea. Let's now listen to it with the kick and bass. Let me do something like so, and now we have this. You can even change, the frequency modulation as I've just made. We can even modulate that. But this is the end of this video. I've really wanted to show you these two cool tricks with the SSQ wavetable and the microbrute metallizer. I really hope you've liked it, and I really hope you've learned something new, and have a great day.